Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're tackling something that's caught my eye recently. Something called the Finch Score.
Finch Score.
It's like
Yeah.
we got credit scores for our finances, right?
Uh-huh.
But this is kind of like a score for your whole health picture.
Interesting.
So we've been digging through a bunch of research on it, trying to see what this Finch Score is all about.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of quantifying health in a single number, it's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, definitely ambitious. And, it makes you wonder, can one number really represent something as complex as your overall health and well-being?
Right. It's not just about, how many steps you take or what your heart rate is at any given moment. It's got to be more than that.
And that's where the Finch Score claims to be different. Like, they say they're looking at this whole range of factors, right? Not just the usual suspects.
Yeah, they talk about things like balance and agility, which, you don't always see in those simpler health trackers.
No, you don't.
Good,
And they say that these factors, they're actually really important indicators of your overall health and even longevity.
Yeah, and there's actually some research to back that up too. Like studies have shown that balance and agility can be pretty strong predictors of long-term health.
That's fascinating. So it's not just about, being fit in the traditional sense.
Right. It's about being functional, being able to move well, being able to catch yourself if you trip, things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how exactly does this Finch Score work then? Like how do they actually calculate this number?
Well, they have this AI engine, they call it Finch Q, and it's constantly analyzing data from your Apple Watch.
Okay, so you have to have an Apple Watch to use it?
Yeah, it's all tied into the Apple Watch ecosystem. So Finch Q is looking at things like your heart rate, your activity levels, even your sleep patterns.
So it's not just a static snapshot in time. This score, it's like a living, breathing thing.
Exactly. It's constantly updating, constantly adjusting based on your age, your gender, and all that data that's coming in from your watch.
So it's personalized, but it's also dynamic.
Right. And that's one of the things they really emphasize, this idea of dynamic monitoring. It's not just about seeing where you are at this moment. It's about tracking your progress over time.
Makes sense. Now, you mentioned you can see your Finch Score right on your Apple Watch face, right?
Yeah, they have these complications you can add, so you can see it right there on your watch face.
But wouldn't that kind of make some people, I don't know, like anxious to constantly be seeing a number that's reflecting your health? Like what happens when the score goes down?
Well, I mean, some fluctuations are normal, right? But if there's a significant drop, that's where Finch Q really kicks in.
Okay, so it's not just a number on your watch face. There's actually some intelligence behind it.
Exactly. So Finch Q starts analyzing those dips, trying to figure out, is there a pattern here? Is there something we should be concerned about?
Interesting. So it can actually like pinpoint potential issues.
Yeah, it can. And based on the data it's seeing, it can even suggest actions you might take.
Oh, wow. Like what kind of actions?
Well, it could be anything from, hey, you haven't been getting enough sleep lately, to maybe you should talk to your doctor about this.
That makes sense. But still, it feels a bit like a black box. Like how do we know what's a normal fluctuation versus something we should actually be worried about?
That's a really important point, and it really highlights the fact that Finch Score is a tool, right? It's not a diagnosis.
Right.
So it's important to interpret those fluctuations in context with your overall health, and definitely if you have any serious concerns, talk to your doctor.
Absolutely. Always good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I found really interesting about Finch Score is that you can share your score with others, right?
Yeah, they have this whole social aspect to it with these things called Finch Q team.
Finch Q teams. Okay.
Yeah, so you can create these customized groups, and you can share your data with family, with friends, even with your healthcare providers.
So it's like a way to connect with others around your health goals.
Right, exactly. And that could be really powerful, to have that support system, that accountability.
Yeah, I could see that. But it also raises some questions, doesn't it, about privacy and data security?
Absolutely. Sharing health data can be really helpful in some cases, but there are definitely risks to consider.
Right. Like who would you feel comfortable sharing your Finch Score with? It's something to think about.
Yeah, it's a personal decision,
Yeah.
and it's important to be aware of the potential downsides.
For sure. So to wrap things up, it seems like Finch scores to do something pretty innovative here. They're trying to give us a single, easy to understand metric that reflects a more complete picture of our health.
Yeah, they're going beyond just steps and heart rate, you know?
Yeah.
They're trying to capture those less tangible aspects of health, like balance and agility.
Right. And it's personalized, it's dynamic, and it even allows for sharing and collaboration. A lot to think about.
Definitely. And it really makes you wonder, how could a tool like this change the way we think about and manage our well-being?
That's a great question. Could it motivate us to make healthier choices? Or could it lead to unnecessary anxiety? Could it even lead to misuse of personal health data?
Yeah, those are all important questions.
Definitely things to consider. So we've covered how Finch score works, but now the question is, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the potential benefits and the risks?
Yeah, we encourage you to dive deeper into these questions yourselves. Explore the broader implications of using technology to track and share health information.
Yeah, and let us know what you think. Until next time.